and Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Hey, what's happening on a Thursday? Big game week between the Jags and the Chiefs. Obviously, a lot happening here in Jacksonville with the storm. Nicole was a hurricane and has moved on, but the ramifications are certainly not over just yet here in the River City and getting closer to the River City. We were down in St. Augustine last night, and that continues to be an epicenter of any time a storm comes rolling in. But now Riverside is really getting the brunt of it in terms of the water, so keep an eye out for folks in Riverside or might need some help and any of those kind of things. We'll keep you abreast of the situation. Of course, you got 104.5 WOKV. They're on all the time with it. Right now, CBS 47, Fox 30, we're wall-to-wall with it. And that is the latest, really. And by the way, it's like low tide over there on the St. Johns River in the next hour and still getting a bunch of water. And I just heard Mike Burrish say, it's going to be very Irma-like when it comes to that Riverside area. And if you remember some of those pictures, it got pretty bad. So we'll keep you posted on the storm or tell us where you're at, what you're doing. We always welcome the calls on the storm, 904-362-9901. We're going to talk sports, though, so we get you away from the storm coverage a little bit. And we also will have a different show today. I'm doing this from home for the next hour. Then I've got to get on storm coverage again, Kasey Kuhrts. Back on it. The Action Sports Jacksmobile.
We'll have fun with that.
You're welcome to join us.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. I actually would go with you, but, like, I don't, if we had planned this maybe, but, I'm all set.
Just like a ride-along.
Yeah, like I would have, I'd have done it if I was there now, but like I see these people like driving their cars through the water and then their cars don't move anymore. So, I don't need that. I have my fair share of car problems anyway.
Yeah,
so,
you don't want to do that. Don't do that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the show for an hour. We also have a bunch of interviews this week with the likes of Clay Harbor and Jamal Agnew joined us on Tuesday and Monday. Of course, Rashean Mathis. Mojo didn't join us this week. He was under the weather. So speaking of the weather. And so we're going to let you hear some of those interviews between 4 and 5 o'clock if you missed any of them. And then 5 o'clock we'll hand off the ESPN programming as we got all hands on deck, obviously, on the TV side and the radio side for the storm coverage. So that's the plan, and then we'll be back to – we feel like we're going to be back to normal tomorrow. But we wanted to sneak in some of the show, and I know not everybody's in their normal routine right now. Most things got canceled. So if you're checking us out, hopefully you're on the social media because you're probably not in your car. Safe bet? I mean, I don't think there's too many people traveling. You got into the studio today. Were there a lot of people on the road?
Not really. Nah, everything was pretty clear. None of the stoplights worked per usual here in Jacksonville, so I was just kind of rolling along. But, yeah, it was like me and 3 other people on the way in from Kernan to Beach to the studio.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on it, but that's kind of the way we're doing it today because we know the listening is not everybody's coming home at 5 o'clock. They normally do. And so let's talk some sports anyway, and maybe a little bit more on the storm coverage in a little bit with some of my experiences, including I got to let you peek in on what it's like to be on TV sometimes, so we might get to that. Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, no Aaron Schachter today. He doesn't work on storm days. Is that how I have it, Kasey?
Yeah, never once and never will work on a storm day. So Aaron Schachter's going to enjoy the next 2 days just chilling. And tomorrow's not even a storm day, but he's chilling. But
what he did do is give you some laundry advice, which I thought was terrific today.
Yeah. He did give me some advice on how to do the laundry. He said use the cold water instead of the hot water, which I appreciate. Didn't understand that, but hey, he's got nothing better to do but sit around and do laundry, so I guess he might as well share his knowledge.
Did you do laundry at UNF? Like, did you do your own? You had to, right?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Who did?
Who did do my laundry? That's a good question. Let me think about that. Well, actually, I guess I did, now that I think about it. I don't know. I kind of forget. But when I lived with Amanda, like, she did it, obviously. And then when I was, like, a freshman, I would just wear all the clothes I had, and then that's when I knew it was time to go home. I'm serious. Because like the laundry machines at UNF are like low key sketch. Sometimes they take your quarters and you don't get them back. So like I was like, you know what? I'll just let this ride out. But then me and Amanda moved into some place that had a washing machine that we didn't have to pay, and then I probably just had her do it.
I got you. The laundry kind of.
I can do it though.
I didn't do a lot of laundry when I was a kid. I mean, I'm sure my mom made me do it at one time or another. So, but college is where you learned how to do laundry. Basically, You had to. And I remember at Ashland, we had 5 floors in our dorm room, and we had to. I think there were like 4 washers, 4 dryers, something like that. Like for all those people. Not that it was an enormous amount of people, but it's probably like over 100 people, and so you had to wait sometimes, or you got to pick the spot. Like 3 a.m. doing laundry type thing,
Yeah.
So, we went to Flagler for a tour with the kids, and one of the things I think they said there, I think this is where we caught it, was like, basically there's like an app now that says when the laundry is open and you can sign up and all this stuff. So I was like, man, I wish we had that. That would have been good. Probably wouldn't waste a lot of time doing laundry like the old days. And Amanda already jumping in. I hope he's giving me credit for doing his wash for the past 4 years. Yes, he is. But the text chain with Aaron was fantastic. And I don't know if this is true, and I hope you never find out, Kasey.
Oh, yes.
But he did say, he said, when you get to wife number 2, you'll be doing your own laundry.
Yeah, he did.
So,
he did relay that message.
Hopefully I don't know that either.
Yeah.
But that's what Aaron says, and so we'll take him at his word.
He would know.
For that. But that was the conversation. At least we got some laundry advice. Like, I don't know how much he was kidding, but he gave you 2 paragraphs on how not to shrink your clothes.
Yes, he did. 2 full paragraphs, like long paragraphs to take up the whole page of the phone. Yeah. No, I got it. It's under control. We'll see what we can do.
So anyway, that's what we've been doing today.
That's all the work we've gotten done today. We talked about laundry. That's it.
You know what? And here I am. I'm sitting here waiting and hoping that, like, okay, when are they going to call? Like, I'm on the 4th. See, what happened with the storm coverage, I was going to wait on this a little bit, but I'll do a little right now. The storm coverage, Stuart and Marcel and me, we're scheduled for 4 p.m. until 4 a.m. shift today. Right? That happened like Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. Well, yesterday we get a call, like that call we get in the early afternoon, or maybe it was late morning. Hey, we're going to need you tonight. And Stuart it was his day off. He came in. And so all of us worked last night. Well, then so we were thinking, well, maybe this thing got moved up. They won't need us Thursday afternoon and into the evening. Right? We'll be out of here. They're all good. Like, we helped. Great. Nice job, sports. Back to work.
Good job, sports.
Nope. I mean, they just had a meeting, like, right before the show, and I confirmed, no go. Absolutely there is a go. Yeah. We're going down to St. Augustine. So back I go to the Bayfront tonight, and we'll see how it is. I will say this. The experience of that last night was pretty wild because I've been watching our coverage for, 15 years when we have some of these events and you see the storm tracker go through and Ben Becker's done it and different reporters have done it. It does happen fast now. That water is no joke how quick it comes in. Like every 20 minutes, it's like 6 inches deeper. So it's and then it recedes rather quick. I think the one nice thing is we know what to expect down in that area, especially down in St. Augustine. So we'll keep you updated on that part. Let's talk some sports. How about the Raiders? We'll get to the Jags in a minute, but how about the Raiders? They put Waller and Renfro, man, on the IR. I mean, the Raiders are a mess right now. And, they play the Colts. I mean, now I don't know if the Colts are just going to get their butt whooped. I mean, there's no receivers. Well, they do have Devontae Adams, and Mac Hollins is pretty good. But, I mean, what is going on in Las Vegas right now? And obviously injuries are injuries, but that's pretty significant for the Raiders, and now I don't know if I feel so good about a lock pick for the Raiders over the Colts.
Well, the Colts are still pretty bad, so I wouldn't give up on that yet. But, yeah, the Raiders situation is interesting. It's part of the reason they've struggled. The coaching obviously is sus as well. But, yeah, I mean, they're very Chargers-like in the scenario where they're down to Mac Hall. Like, sure, Devontae Adams, I understand. But, like, they need those other guys because obviously they haven't been able to win just with Devontae Adams. Now it gets significantly tougher. Mac Hollins will have to step up. But to be honest, Brent, this is probably we need a quarterback. Let's lose some games.
Really?
I think so.
For the Raiders?
Yeah, they can get out of the Derek Carr after this year.
It's after this year? Because it's a 3-year deal, but this year that gives them some room to get out?
I think so, if I'm reading this right.
Oh.
I may not be.
I mean, so this could be a tankathon game.
This could be 0-0 in overtime, yes. This could be two teams trying their best to not score. And then tie again if you're the Colts.
I don't know what that would do. Has anybody ever tied twice in a season?
Doubtful. Unconfirmed, but it has to be doubtful.
That is going to be, I mean, that's just a wild Is this like one of the wildest games we've seen in NFL history, just on the Saturday situation alone? And I'm not talking about the day. I'm talking about the game is played on Sunday. I'm talking about Jeff Saturday. I mean, this is, and now you add in, again, I mean, it's kind of weird that the Raiders have all these injuries. Heck, I thought Waller was close to playing last week.
I did too, apparently
and now
not.
all of a sudden he's going on IR.
I need to go get Foster Moreau back in fantasy. Gosh, dang it.
And how about this? Blake Martinez retired.
Seriously?
Blake Martinez, I'm announcing my retirement from the game of football. I had an amazing journey with some incredible franchises, made lifelong friendships. I've chosen to step away from his career at this time to focus on my family future passions. I'm excited for this new journey and appreciate all the fans and organization that have supported me through the years. He just retired 33 minutes ago.
He just pulled a Vontae Davis and called it?
He's like, I'm out.
Wow. Look at this.
I mean,
he played 91% of snaps against the Jags.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw him all over the field.
He just called it. He made 11 tackles on Sunday and retired on Thursday. Wow.
This might be the oddest game of circumstance in NFL history. Because, I mean, not that we've seen people call it, I guess, but halfway through the year, man, that's an odd time. And, I mean.
Wow.
And the Saturday situation alone, again, is like nothing like that has ever happened. So just because of that, it makes it crazy.
Huh. You know he's like a Pokemon kingpin? Did you know that?
What does that even mean?
He's a big-time Pokemon card, Pokemon everything collector, yeah.
Really?
Like big time. Big time.
I mean, why would you retire if you played 91% of the snaps Sunday?
I don't know. He's had enough. I don't know. That's wild. That is crazy. I don't know. He sees what you're seeing, Brent. The whole team's on IR. They're playing Jeff Saturday in his first game. He's like, I don't need to be a part of this. 0-0 in overtime. I don't need this. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, I am. Like, I don't think that sits well with people. It's like kind of feels like you're quitting on it.
The one dude quit at halftime. That's what I was saying. At least he didn't do that. Which I would have been.
That was Vontae Davis.
Vontae
after
Davis,
his long career.
I'm pretty sure.
That was kind of odd.
It was like the first game of the year too, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
It was early. I do think I remember.
He's
early.
like, I'm good. I'm not coming back out at the half. All right.
I guess
it's
that
awkward.
Was pretty bizarre.
Like
that is awkward.
Like,
why don't people talk about that more? Like,
I don't
that
know.
should be talked about.
Like they're putting all these like documentaries out for crap nobody cares about. Where was the camera guy following Vontae Davis when he had to figure out how to get back to wherever the team was from? Like I think he was in Buffalo. I could be wrong. Like how did he get back? Because
I remember that it was in Buffalo.
He wasn't on the team plane. Like he had to awkwardly walk out while the third quarter's going on with like all of his stuff.
Everybody else came out the tunnel. He went out toward the buses.
He's clearing out his locker, and his team is driving down the field. Like,
that
what in the world?
Because nobody could know that even happened until after the game, right? And so, but that would have been the greatest shot. Like, today's day and age, these guys have their own camera people, basically, that follow them. Not all of them, but some of them. And that would have been, like, the greatest.
Yes.
To have that piece of video, where he's like, basically, everybody comes out of the locker room. All of a sudden, Vontae Davis is in street clothes. And as they turn right to go down the tunnel onto the field, Vontae Davis has a duffel bag in his hand and goes the other way. Like, just, I don't know, man. I don't know how those aren't fighting words a little bit for guys like that would really. Now, maybe he's got something up. But how could you have played the whole season and then just retire? Like, were you thinking of it the whole time? And does that mean you weren't all in? Like, that would bother me a little bit.
11 tackles. It feels like he was all in. Like, he was out there trying.
He was trying, to his credit.
He's like the only guy on their defense that was apparently trying in the second half. He's like, you know what? You guys aren't trying. You guys are the problem.
I mean, that is just nuts. Like, I can't fathom it. I think it's just a wild thing. We have two of the most spontaneous decisions this week that you can get. Jim Irsay calls up Jeff Saturday. It's like, hey, you want to coach? And Blake Martinez on a Thursday before the game says, I'm done.
Maybe he knew like Thursday's like their really tough practice day. He's like, I don't need to do this again. Like, we're bad. I'm just gonna go.
I mean, it's just crazy, man. And are you getting a different feel from the Saturday stuff now, seeing the quotes? Because I think they're trying to fool us.
Yeah.
Like, great, Jeff Saturday, nice job in front of the microphone. Jeff Saturday, he's got the attention of the team. He's won the locker room over. They respect him. Good for you. I told you should have had a mutiny and done a sit-in and not even played. But up to you guys. Slap in the face that they even bring this guy in. But I'm not rooting against Saturday. I'm rooting against the Colts because I think this is so stupid it shouldn't work. And so, I mean, now all of a sudden, though, like you see the quotes and you're getting kind of fired up with Saturday. But they just decided their play caller like 28 hours ago.
Yeah.
I mean, what's their plan? But maybe it's everybody said, hey, maybe Jeff was right. The Raiders are terrible. And this was the perfect game to come in and coach.
Yeah, possibly. Listen, here's the thing with Jeff Saturday. I think the one thing that you could have convinced me on that he was going to be pretty good at is talking, because his previous employer, he talked.
Yeah, that's true.
Not coached. So, like, I'm not surprised that he can talk on the microphone well and get you fired up. You know, he's been doing that with Stephen A. Smith for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, I still need to see something with the coaching. Like, is he even going to have a clipboard? Is he even going to wear a headset? Because what's he calling? What decisions is he making? I don't know. This is something. They should move this game to, like, Comedy Central instead of, like, CBS or Fox, whatever it's on, and just have, like, an alternate broadcast of the coach that doesn't know what's happening and the middle linebacker that now has to play because the other dude retired.
Yeah.
They should just hire somebody from TV to play middle linebacker. They should pick another ESPN person and let him be the middle linebacker.
Don't ask Teddy Bruschi. He'll be crazy enough to come do it.
That's true. Wouldn't that be something, though? Man.
The Jeff Saturday stuff, I do think people are rooting for him. So I guess, do you find yourself rooting for him?
No.
You don't?
Not really.
Like, I'm not, because he's in the AFC South, and I'm still mad at the Colts. And I don't think this should work for Jim Irsay. Again, take Saturday out of the mix. If Saturday wanted all our love and attention, he probably shouldn't have taken the gig because he's set up to fail, number one, and I'm kind of rooting against it. And I think the NFL should be rooting against it. I think all coaches should be rooting against it. I think some players should be rooting against it. This is not the way you do business in the NFL. I'm not saying the way they do business in the NFL is exactly right, but this is not the way to do it. And this is off. And so it's got nothing to do with Saturday other than the fact that he took the gig, and he should know it's off too. Like, I still would claim I'm surprised he took it. Nah. I would have said no, and I think I saw somebody else. I can't remember. Who was it? I think it was one of the pass rushers of yesteryear for the Colts. Maybe it was Freeney. I think it was Freeney.
Mathis?
Yeah, I think it was Freeney who said, yeah, I would have said hung up the phone. Like, that's what I thought Saturday would do, but obviously it's a different relationship with Irsay maybe, or just as like, hey, I want to try this anyway.
Or like, hey, why not? I'll coach the game.
And that's kind of what he said in the news conference. Like, yeah, why not? I'm going to give it a go. But, like, again, that leaves a funny taste in my mouth. You know, like, these guys work all their life to get there, and I'm not saying they all deserve opportunities and should be, but they deserve it more than Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, that I hate the word deserve, but so I'll say they've earned it more than Jeff Saturday.
I'll agree with that, but I think if you're Jeff Saturday, right, you're probably invested in what the Colts are doing since that's your team, right? And I guarantee you at some point this season, Jeff Saturday found himself on the couch saying, well, if they would just run the ball, they could win.
Yes,
and then Jim Irsay is like, do you want to coach? He's like, you know what? Yes, I do want to coach. I have some ideas.
That's actually like he's got the BW3 button.
Literally.
And now he's got the red flag in his sock.
Yes. Like, you know what? I think I actually do want to coach. As a matter of fact, thank you.
He really is.
I've had some ideas all season.
Somebody auctioned off a chance to coach the last 8 games, and Jeff Saturday won.
Yes. Yes. It's like when they auction off, I forget what it's for, but you can follow around Mike Burrish for a day, meteorologist for a day, coach for a day. Jeff Saturday's like, yeah, why not?
Oh, man, it's just bizarro world right now in the NFL. And by the way, Josh Allen didn't practice. Looks like, I mean, he didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday. I can't imagine he's playing Sunday. Like, he's not playing Sunday.
My fantasy team is in so much shambles. I'm one game out of the playoff run. Now I have to find a defense, a kicker, and a replacement for Josh Allen. Like, this is just not good.
Not good. We get the Falcons and Panthers tonight in the NFL. Let's talk some Jags when we come back.
I forgot there's a game today.
Yeah, there's a game. Forgot there's a game at all in the NFL. But let's talk Jags and Chiefs when we come back. They do have Week 10 of the NFL season. The daunting situation the Jags are in, even if they get help from a playoff standpoint, and I know nobody's thinking playoffs, but I'll just remind you why they won't make the playoffs, even if you have this pie-in-the-sky feeling that the Jags could get hot, or at least how unlikely it would be. And the matchup with the Chiefs, how good will it be? And what does it mean if it is a good one for various players, this head coach, and the football team? Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. We'll be right back after this.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Impacts from Nicole today with bands of very heavy rain and storms. Some severe weather possible. It'll be windy, gradually diminishing from south to north through the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s. Windy tonight, a lingering shower down to just 72. And your Friday will be partly sunny, a breezy and warm Veterans Day with a brief shower or two and highs in the low 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
The Card Player Poker Tour is going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. The popular poker tournament series continues until November 14th and ends with the $3,000 No Limit Hold'em main event from November 11th to the 14th and the Best Bet 500, a $500 No Limit Hold'em tournament on November 14th. There are $540 satellites into the main event going on weekly at Best Bet Jacksonville. Go to bestbetjacks.com to view the full tournament and satellite schedule. That's bestbetjacks.com.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Shack Stream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors. With roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis, your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients, and if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations.
The Sertoma Club of St. Augustine is set up to help those less fortunate without a complicated qualification process in order to get them the assistance they deserve in an expeditious manner. The type of assistance that they have given others ranges in a variety of ways, everywhere from wheelchair ramps to home repairs to helping with medical bills. Sertoma of St. Augustine, a hand up and not a hand out. Learn more and how you can help at staugustinesertoma.org.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Qatar, here we come.
Christian's travel agency has one goal.
Talk to you soon.
The world's biggest soccer tourney.
The hotel is 7 miles from the stadium. Are you serious? Did you email the transportation company?
Now he needs an Arabic interpreter on his roster.
I don't speak it either.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
It's a win-win, man. I mean, it's a win-win. You tell me where Jeff Saturday loses here. So he gets thrusted into a head coaching position. He'll get a chance to evaluate talent. Maybe he moves up to a GM position. If he loses, who really expected him to do anything in the first place? But if he wins, it's all upside. It's all upside here.
Yeah, I guess it is upside for him. So, well, I don't know if it's all upside as I think about it, because I'm going to be consistent with what I said. I don't think people around the league look at this and be like, yeah, great, good for you, Jeff Saturday. I think people really respect Jeff Saturday. And so that helps him. That really does. I think he's a good guy. And I think people know that. People appreciate that. And they also, what helps him, I think, is that the owner's crazy.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he's just a crazy guy. And so I think they're not going to pin this on him. But I will, I don't know, I didn't see the whole news conference with Saturday. It's funny how Indianapolis does their news conferences so late at night.
Yeah.
And so then I was out in the storm coverage by then. But, and I wonder if anybody asked him, like, hey, Jeff, if you were in that locker room and they brought back some lineman from 15 years ago to be your head coach in the middle of the season that had never coached,
right,
how would you feel about it?
Peyton Manning would have started the uproar, pretty sure.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Like, that's my point. Like, do you lose some level of respect? And why he goes in there today, yesterday, whatever, and it looks good and it feels good, and he's like, listen, I feel you, I hear you. We're going to do the best we can, and hey, let's give it our all 8 games. You know, great. A little Newt Rockney speech, whatever you want to do. And if he loses 3 games in their embarrassing fashion, guess who looks bad? The players. They're the ones out there on Sunday getting their butt whooped and put in this situation. And so just keep an eye on that. If they're not competitive, this thing could get ugly real quick, because I wouldn't blame the players. I already think they should have a mutiny. I think they should be more ticked off at this than they are. I'm surprised they're not. I think the NFLPA should be mad at it.
Yeah, I actually wonder how that affects, like, going into free agency next year. Like, are guys going to be like, no, I'm not signing there because they just brought in a dude from ESPN to be the coach?
Great point. Great point. It should play a role. Now, money talks. I get it. But, I mean, Indianapolis went from this organization, by the way, a couple years ago that was like the poster child for how to run things. Everybody's
Sure.
talking about Chris Ballard and Frank Reich and the good guys, and you got Rivers and Carson Wentz and things, whatever it is, and all good people. Seems like good people. And now you go to this circus act. Like, here's the thing. It's not hard to turn yourself into a circus act. It can happen quick.
Yeah, but there's easier ways to not.
I mean, you like to try to avoid it.
Like, hire somebody that's coach, check number one. They're like, nah, we're just going for it.
If I ask you this simple question, Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, Brent and friends at ESPN 690 on a stormy Thursday in Jacksonville, do you think the Jaguars can beat the Chiefs? Will you answer that with, Brent, they have no chance to beat the Chiefs. They're just not on that level. Well, of course they can beat the Chiefs, because that's how a lot of people like to answer this question.
Not me.
But it's sports. Anything can happen. Like, or you're like, hey, you know what? They've played with everybody. Why not? Like, if they get a couple turnovers, if their offense does what it's capable of doing, and the different parts of their team play like they're capable, why not? I mean, Kansas City's good, but they're not unbeatable. Tennessee almost proved that last week. Indianapolis already proved that this year. So why not? I mean, how do you answer that? If I say, hey, seriously, Sunday, do you think they can beat them?
I do not think the Jags can beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I think if this game was in Jacksonville, I would answer it, well, they could. You know, the NFL, weird things happen. I think at home, the Chiefs are just too good. I think the Jags have, you know, they beat the Chargers on the road, okay, but, you know, they're not a good road team. They haven't been in a long time. So,
that's a good point.
I mean, they don't do it. The few games they win are either in London or at home for the most part. So, you know, I think you add that part in, it's going to be a crazy environment, and just the Chiefs are on another level. Like, granted, if Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker do what I don't even know if they're supposed to, they would have to play out of their minds and, like, be back there every play and are hitting him and forcing turnovers. Like, they would have to get multiple turnovers, and Trevor would have to be perfect. And all that said, I don't think all that can happen on the same day. So I really think the Chiefs are just ahead above the Jags right now, but I don't think that's surprising. This is the most consistent team in the league the last, 4 years.
Yeah, and I think people get mad at you when you're realistic about it, and that's what I've said. It's like, listen, they're just on and Aaron used the good word yesterday. It's a different tiered system right now. Now, the NFL, it's sports. Like, we get all that part. I mean, no way would you have said the Jags could beat Buffalo even at home last year. So that's your example. Yeah, but it would take that kind of performance.
Yeah.
It would be like something's got to go amiss. Don't forget, the Buffalo Bills were the number one offense in the NFL when they came to Jacksonville last year, and nothing was going right for the Jags. And the Jags beat them 9-6.
Right.
Like, that's how out of place that was. The Jags beating Buffalo last year was about as out of place as Jeff Saturday coaching Sunday for the Indianapolis Colts.
That's a good one. That is fair.
Nobody would have predicted it.
Mm-mm.
2 weeks prior, 2 months prior, 2 days prior. And so that, again, that is fair to say. The Chiefs have been doing this for 4 or 5 years. They have a lot of veterans. They don't have rookies running all over the place or guys that have just played 20 games in the NFL. The Jags do. Jags have a lot of that. And when you have the wisdom of Andy Reid, now the experience of Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and other guys, well, guess what? They can take them to school a little bit just from a game plan standpoint. Like, I'm not saying that they can't athlete up with them. I think Jags have good athletes. I don't think the Jags, like, there's been times the Jags could get out-athleted in a game. Like, if you had this Chiefs game versus, you know, this Chiefs team against, I think we saw with Indianapolis at times, really, against some former Jags teams that their defense just wasn't any good at all, and they really were slow. Like, that's happened before with the Jags. This isn't it. Jags are fast. Jags can play. Jags have athletes. I think they pointed that out in that London game. I think people believe that. But I think it's the experience. It's like where you are. Doug Peterson is 9 games in. Andy Reid is like 8 years in, or whatever it is, to this team. And really, this core team for the Chiefs outside of Tyreek Hill leaving, they're like 5 years in. That is a massive starting point and gap between the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I kind of agree with you. Like, I just don't – this is the one game all year. I don't give them much of a chance to win.
Yeah, and it looks like, just quickly going back through it, the Chiefs the last couple of years, they win at home when they're supposed to win. Like, this is just me going through it, and quickly, the only thing I can find is in 2019, they lost to a Colts team at home they probably shouldn't have. Everything else, they win at home or they lose to another good team. You get outdueled by like a couple of points. But like the Chiefs, they don't do this. Like Buffalo, again, to your point, I'm not saying that they do that, but, you know, I think it's more likely with them than it is the Chiefs, I guess is my point, especially when the Chiefs are at home. Like, they don't slip up in these games they're supposed to win. They haven't, and I think that just plays into it, that at home they take care of their business.
Okay, so here's the other thing about the Jags. The Jags played a complete game against the Chargers, right? They were really good. They were pretty darn good against, for 3 quarters especially, they were dominant against the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
So those 2 games, they were really good. If the Jags play that level of game, where they're sustaining drives on offense, Trevor's playing good, they're running the ball, which they've done a lot this year, by the way. You could see a situation against Kansas City that they're going up and down the field, and they score, and they are cashing in on the red zone. Sure, why not? I could see that. Like, that's not far-fetched. The defense is the one that's been up and down. Good, bad against Washington, then good for 2 quarters, then bad at the end. Really good against Indy, mostly really good against the Chargers, not so good for 3 quarters against the Eagles, and then a lot of in-between stuff even last week. Terrible in the first half, really good in the second half, or strong in the second half. Like, this is one of those games that the Jags would have everybody. Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Kasey, Aluakin, Lloyd, Cisco, Tyson, they all have to play really well all at the same time for a lot of the game. And then, of course, if you do that, if you perform like you performed against the Chargers and the Colts, well, you're going to put yourself in a position to win. I mean, this isn't David versus Goliath in that sense. Because, again, if you play that crisp and good, well, you can beat anybody. I think this team can beat anybody. I think they've kind of given us that idea. So if I say this, if the Jags win, and they have that kind of game, do you think the Jags now, do you feel like they could make a run at the playoffs? They'd be 4-6, winners of 2 in a row, and have just beaten the Chiefs. And are probably, still 2 games back in the wild card or AFC South, but maybe just 1 at that point, depending on what Tennessee does this week.
I think if they go into Arrowhead and somehow figure out a way to win, then yeah. I think given the opportunity, and I know they're not really front runners, but you kind of got to go with me there, coming off of 2 wins and stealing a game that you have absolutely no business winning against one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. I think Trevor and Travis and those guys that have been winners can turn into front runners in that situation. I think Doug Peterson can turn into a front runner in that situation. Hey, we just got these 2, and they just go on a roll. So to your point, if they could figure out how to do it, I do think we're back in that conversation because the Ravens are tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking the Jags to beat the Ravens at this moment, but the Ravens are not world beaters. So if you can find that recipe to win and beat the Chiefs on the road, I think everything changes. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, too, right? If you beat the Chiefs, you can beat anybody.
Legit.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can say that. And by the way, the Jags have beaten the Chargers, and they whooped the Colts, and they hung around with the Eagles, and they've hung around with everybody else. So this isn't, in that sense, it's different than the Bills. Like, that was such an outlier last year that the Jags are like, okay, they're not going to go win 7 in a row now. This team, because I've wondered this now, if they get 1, where do they go from here? Now, if they were to beat the Chiefs somehow, I'm telling you, I'll be like sunshine and rainbows to the moon on Monday.
Which is fair.
You know, I mean, I'll be like, okay, now I can find you a path. But here's how improbable it is. You ready for this?
Yep.
Since 1990.
Oh, boy.
When you are 3-6 after 9 weeks in the NFL, your chances of making the playoffs are 3.4%. It's happened 5 times in 148 chances. Since 1990. That's 32 years, dude. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That is a lot of sampling.
That's longer than Kasey's been alive.
So 3.4. Now, if they go to 4-6 and beat the Chiefs after 10 weeks, since that 1990 mark, your percentages go up to 8%, 14 times out of 175. And you went from 0% basically to win the division to 2.3% in that time.
There we go.
Now, I will say this. You're at 0% in both instances to win the Super Bowl. It's never happened.
Well, that's okay.
But I just wanted to – that's how unlikely it is right now as we sit in Week 9. And even if they were to win in Week 10 and beat the Chiefs, of making the playoffs.
And you know what's annoying about that, by the way? If they somehow beat the Chiefs, they got to take a bye. Like, you would want to play the next week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Or
but you also get to feel good for 2 weeks.
True, because to that point, like as I say it, I'm like, yeah, I don't think you want the bye. But then, not that you're ever looking forward, but like knowing you can lay it all out there on Sunday, knowing you don't have to play again on Sunday. I don't know if that's anything, but maybe.
Let me give you one other thing, okay? If the Jags had just won one of those games that we knew they could have won so many different times, and they were 4-5 right now instead of 3-6, their odds of making the playoffs right now would go from 3.4% to 16.4.
Dang.
From 5 times to it happened 29 times.
Wow.
And then if they were to win, then they'd have a 30% chance at 5-5 10 weeks in to make the playoffs. So, like, just one of these games in the first 9 has really altered where the Jags would be. And I'll just throw one more just to make us all feel worse. If they had beaten, like, the Houston Texans and Colts like we think they should have, and were 5-4 at this stage, they'd have almost a 50% chance to make the playoffs right now.
Yikes.
And because they didn't, they have a 3.4% chance to make the playoffs.
That's tough.
Again, this is since 1990. So I just think it puts it in perspective how much of an outlier it would take, even if you're very positive like I am, to get the Jags to go on a run of the magnitude that it would get them in the postseason.
Yeah. And real quick, going back to the Chiefs, just since you're making everybody feel bad, I'll pile on. The Raiders got the ball back twice with opportunities to go down the field at the end of the game. They didn't do it. But if you're in that same scenario and Patrick Mahomes is getting it just once, you probably don't feel good about that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because like Derek Carr couldn't do it. I mean, they had now the second one again. There was not a lot of time, no timeouts. I get it, but still, like if Mahomes gets in that situation on Sunday, you're like, well,
yeah, and I'll even give you this, Kasey. To that point, go back to the London game. The Jags defense gave the offense the ball 3 consecutive times. The third time is when they finally scored the touchdown to take the lead, and they had the shorter field. They got the field position, remember? Because after a really good punt, I think it was by Logan Cook. So that's actually 2 weeks in a row that they've actually slammed the door shut for quite some time. The problem with the London game is they couldn't do it a fourth time. They couldn't stop them one more time.
Right.
And then, obviously, Russell went down the field, and they end up winning the game. So, yeah, you're right. To that point, like, you need to play from ahead.
Yeah.
Right? And then you need a big play. Like I said, I think the key to this one, they have to be +2 in the turnover margin, and then they have to sustain drives. Like, they have to play keep away. I'm not sure they have to control it for 40 minutes. That's unrealistic. But they probably have to control it for, like, 34, 35 minutes. And that might still not matter against the Chiefs.
Yeah. By the way.
But you do have to do that.
You need 2 turnovers, right? You just said it, or +2 at least. Mahomes has only turned it over 6 times all year.
Wow. Yeah. By the way, I keep getting questions about All Access tonight. No All Access. No show. We will make this show up as part of an hour at the year-end show on January 12th. Next week is a Wednesday show on the bye week, and Paul Puzzlesny's coming out. And then the following week is a Wednesday because it's Thanksgiving Eve, and Josh Allen and a guest will be there as well. We'll be back on ESPN 690. Before I check out, let me tell you a little bit about our friends at Fields Auto Group. And, of course, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus at Jacksonville and Orange Park. They have here in Northeast Florida, Mercedes-Benz at Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar, Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields, Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. My wife leases a car, in fact, from Fields Cadillac and loves it. And the good folks over there at Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and Fields Cadillac, St. Augustine, led by our buddy Jim Signorelli, the GM at those 2 dealerships in town. Also, you can go visit Brian Zirin. He's at Fields Lexus at Jacksonville. Fields Lexus of Orange Park. Barry Lamb, the GM at Mercedes-Benz at Jacksonville. Also, Aaron Mong. He's the GM at Porsche of Jacksonville. And Mick Romero, the GM at Jaguar Land Rover Jacksonville as well. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. More information on all the different dealerships with Fields. Check it out at fieldsauto.com.
The dark web can be like a restaurant for identity thieves.
Hi, ready to order?
I'll have the driver's license number.
Great, that comes with a home address or a birth date.
Ooh, both, please.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
O'Reilly. Don't miss See Better, Drive Safer Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on wiper blades, headlight bulbs, and more. Right now, get up to a $20 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of select Sylvania bulbs. Plus, get double O Rewards points with your purchase. Prepare for the weather ahead during See Better, Drive Safer Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes Party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core Brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckn.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
I've been telling you about iCryo now for the last 6 months. Elevate your lifestyle and save while you do it. If you listen to ESPN 690, you can get a day pass to iCryo in St. Johns County for just $69. Tell them ESPN 690 sent you, and you can pick 3 of the 6 lifestyle services: whole body cryo, local cryo, compression, red light therapy, infrared sauna, cryofacial. Just has to be used all in one day, 3 out of 6 for $69. It's a heck of a deal for listening to ESPN 690 at iCryo.com.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
Thanksgiving is up next, and ESPN 690 is partnering with City Streets to Student Athletes for Turkey Bowl 2022. It'll be November 19th at Atlantic Coast High School. It's a flag football tournament and a turkey giveaway. Register a team in the tournament at ESPN690.com. You can also help us give turkeys to families in need. Follow the link on ESPN690.com to make a $20 donation and help Jacksonville families this holiday season. Turkey giveaway and Turkey Bowl. All the details at ESPN690.com.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at DayTona500.com.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997, and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Do you feel a calling to help others? You can change a local child's life by becoming a foster parent through Daniel. You'll receive training, 24/7 support, and compensation to cover the cost for the child's needs and your time. To qualify, you must be over 21, pass a background check, receive training, and have a caring heart. Foster parent classes are starting soon, so please call Daniel at 296-1055. That's 296-1055, or visit danielkids.org.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
Brent and Friends, ESPN 690, couple minutes with Brent Martineau before he heads back out to the Storm coverage. Brent, do you want to tell the people about what happened to you last night before you get out of here once again?
I do. Thanks for bringing us back. I was checking emails. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so here's the deal. So in TV land, we have what's called an IFB. What basically is, when you're doing a live shot, you have the producers talking to you, or you can hear the anchors, or if there's something like sound from somebody or whatever, you can hear it. And so it's obviously important.
It is important to hear the broadcast, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you know when they're coming to you, or if they want you to wrap up, or something's happening technically that's not good. And so, I mean, this happens all the time. I've been doing it for a long time. And then sometimes you do have problems with it. Sometimes it goes out. Sometimes you can't hear. Sometimes whatever. Sometimes just too loud to hear. Like all the shows we do inside stadiums, it's really hard to hear. And, you know, already people have problems with this sometimes when people are talking to you while you're talking. Like, how do you think you'd be at that, Kasey? Like, if you have somebody in your ear talking to you while you're trying to talk.
Listen, Brent, I think I'm a talented guy. I think I could battle through. But for the point you're trying to make, Brent, I understand that it is a difficult thing to do.
Like, it's not, to be honest with you, like, I like it. I actually hate the silence. The silence makes me nervous. I like when people are talking. Now, they're not going to talk the whole, if you're on for a minute and a half, they're not going to talk the whole time.
Spoiler alert, folks. When I started here, Brent told me, because I wasn't sure when I should talk to him, he said, you can sing me a song if you'd like.
You can.
I said, oh, okay. I'll do that. Get warmed up on the Billy Joel. Okay.
So, anyway, we're in the elements yesterday. And so we're doing our second live. First one goes really well. It was great. And then the second one, it's windy, it's raining. Like, I mean, it's coming down pretty good. We're soaking wet. We're planning to do a little, hey, we're going to go here. I'll show you how deep the water is and talk about a business, peace, love, and a little donuts. They just opened Monday, and they've got to deal with the hurricane, you know. So we're telling a nice little story there about what they're doing in preparation. And so I have the producer talking to me, and I hear John and Tanika toss to me. Well, my phone, I have to keep it out of the rain. And so I have it in my pocket. But I have also, like, those pants on, like the water pants. And they don't have pockets, so I actually have to keep my phone, like, inside my other pants that are on, which are jeans. So it's, just picture that. Like, if I had to get it, I have to, like, reach inside my pants.
It's a double pants situation. You got to go in one. I understand you.
Right?
Yes.
So, well, I'm just doing my live shot, and then all of a sudden I hear this because I hit #5. Here's what you get when you dial #5. Hold on. Let me do it again. I'm going to play it right up here.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Remember, I'm talking through this whole time right now.
Message 2, US01LV.
So anyway, it goes on and on. So my whole live shot, I can't hear the producer anymore now. I've got that going on. I'm like, what in the world is happening? I can't get into my first layer of pants to disconnect the call that I just made. And so that's what happened last night to me. The rain was nothing. It was the call.
Did you at any point in time consider taking the IFB out and just going?
In hindsight, I was like, I should have just done that. Because, but I was really just trying to find out how can I get to my phone and stop it. But the other part, I was on camera the whole time, so it's not like we were in video or anything else.
You had no storytelling elements, Brent. You just had you in the elements, listening to that.
So that's what happened. That's just take you inside the TV world. Sometimes it's uncontrollable, and if I messed up last night on TV, that's my excuse.
No, you did fine, Brent. You did a good job.
11.
I saw you.
You got plenty of excuses out there in the elements.
How about, hey, I'm not a meteorologist, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Or a news reporter.
Yeah. I do sports.
Yeah, we do sports for a living. It actually feeds right into what we do because it's play-by-play.
That's true, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You give them basically play-by-play. The problem is, like, the terminology. I always don't want to sound like an idiot.
Now, that's tough for you.
Okay, I'll give you one. Here's the research I did. You know the bayfront down there, right, in St. Augustine?
Yes, familiar.
Like, what is that? What's that body of water?
bay of something.
But like the intercoastal, no? Like you would think
yeah.
maybe?
Yep.
Well, guess what? It's like part intercoastal, but not really. It's really the Matanzas River.
Ah. I wouldn't have got that one right.
I checked with Borish. He told me, he's like, it's a little tricky because it's got like intercoastal, but it's really the Matanzas River. So there you go, folks. Educating you. Guess what? I'm heading back down there. So here's what we're going to do. I've got the 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. shift on CBS 47, Fox 30. Storm tracking we are with the Action Sports Shacks team, Marcel Robinson, Stuart Weber as well. So we have interviews lined up for the next hour with Rashean Mathis, Jamal Agnew, who joined us this week, and also Clay Harbor. Kasey's going to take care of that, so we got you covered for the next hour, and then we'll join the national program on ESPN 690, which is that your guy, Canty?
Yeah, Canty and Carlin. You'll get a couple hours of Canty and Carlin, and then Spain and Fitz.
All right, good deal. So that's the audible we're calling today, and then back at it full go 3 to 6 tomorrow, as well, most likely from a high school football place, as long as we feel like the weather is cooperating enough.
Good luck,
for Kasey
Brent.
Kuhrts, I'm Brent Martineau. We'll see you on TV tonight.
You got this, buddy.
You don't have to go anywhere now. We got a bunch of football conversations lined up. Clay Harbor, Jamal Agnew, and Rashean Mathis. Up next on ESPN 690.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Week 10 fantasy football picks fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. A lot to pick from this week. Heck, the Jags and Chiefs game could give you a lot of options. But let's go with Chris Godwin and Tampa. Maybe last week's comeback ignites the Bucs offense, which really hasn't been good all year. Godwin could have a big game in Germany. And Darius Slayton has emerged as a top target for Daniel Jones. All the attention on Saquon for the Texans should leave Slayton open in big moments. Might be a productive day for the wideout. Good luck, everyone. My picks fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
It's tournament time this month at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. The GOPO 500, a $500 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on Saturday, November 19th at Best Bet Orange Park. Then the 10th annual Turkey Bowl Deep Stack Bounty, a $200 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on November 24th, Thanksgiving Day, at Best Bet Jacksonville at 7 p.m. There are also weekly no-limit hold'em tournaments going on at Best Bet St. Augustine every Wednesday and Saturday. Go to bestbetjacks.com to learn more.
I'm Doug Brown. The Washington Commanders are accused in a civil lawsuit of lying to fans in order to protect the team's image and profits. That suit filed today by the D.C. Attorney General, who plans to subpoena team owner Daniel Snyder and former employees. The team and the NFL are accused of colluding during the league's investigation of a toxic workplace culture in Washington. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Raiders tight end Darren Waller will go on IR with a sore hamstring. He'll miss at least 4 weeks. Wideout Hunter Renfrow also goes on the list with an oblique injury. The marquee matchup of Week 10, the 6-2 Bills hosting the 7-1 Vikings. Minnesota quarterback Kirk Cousins.
I've been the first one after games to say, hey, we won, we can play better. It's great to be having these conversations at 7-1 rather than at 1-7. There's no doubt that we're always looking to improve, and this is a great test this Sunday.
Kirk Cousins. Bruins defenseman Charlie McAvoy makes his season debut tonight against the Flames. McAvoy had left shoulder surgery 5 months ago.
You own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Upside users have already earned nearly $300 million. Start putting money back into your wallet with a free app from Upside. To cash out your Upside cash, just transfer to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. With gas prices at nearly 18% higher than last fall, it's big news and big money. And right now, when you spend at least $10 on your first fill-up, we'll give you at least $5 back. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code CAR50. That's promo code CAR50. Remember, use promo code CAR50 and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Kasey Kuhrts.
Yo! What are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Well, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. If you're on the stream, you see me holding my microphone. I've got a mic arm that is completely empty. Because as we're coming back in the show, as Brent Martineau has left me all by myself, my microphone breaks. Talk about a disaster. Anyway, ESPN 690, Brent and Friends. Right now, it's just the friend, Brent Martineau, off to cover the storm. Aaron Schachter, babysitting, I do believe. And they left me in charge. And now my microphone's broken. Unbelievable. These things happen at the worst times, folks. If you're on the radio, I can't really describe it to you other than the microphone broke. You get the idea. I'll just go find the stream. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. We're everywhere. But the good news about it is I don't have to hold my microphone for a 20-minute segment. I will have an opportunity to fix that while I play you a conversation with Rashean Mathis, as you may know or may not know if you're just jumping in for the first time. We appreciate you being here. We have Rashean Mathis. Yes, that Rashean Mathis, former Jacksonville Jaguar cornerback. Every single Monday on the show, we talk to him in the 4 o'clock hour. And we're going to replay that conversation for you because very rarely around here the last couple of years have we had many Victory Mondays, right? There's been more sad shows than happy shows on Mondays. So we finally get a happy show on Monday. So we might as well play you some of that enjoyment. Rashean Mathis, Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, myself, we were here talking to Rashean about the Jags win over the Raiders. I'll play that for you now. We will take a break. When we come back, you'll hear from Jamal Agnew. He joined us on Tuesday, coming off a win. Yes, that Jamal Agnew, the one that plays for the Jags. And then you will hear from Clay Harbor as well. So, while you listen to Rashean Mathis, I will fix my microphone. Maybe, if it's fixable. And if it's not, you won't hear from me again until tomorrow. But hopefully I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Right now, Rashean Mathis, Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and myself right now on ESPN 690.
Rashean Mathis on Mondays. Rashean, we get to talk about a W, man. Hope you're doing well and had a good weekend.
Yes, all is well, all is well. Yes, a W. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Definitely a good thing.
But improbable, man. I mean, I thought this was rock bottom for the organization this year in that second quarter. I was like, uh-oh, this is just not going to be good. We kind of waited for it. They had battled, and then what if it goes bad one week? And it looked like it was going bad this week.
And not only that, but in the second and fourth quarter, this team has definitely left a lot of that on the field. So you look at that 17-0 going in the second quarter, Rashean, you're like, what next?
Yeah. You had to be a little bit of that feeling.
Yeah, you could look at it like that, but you can also look at it that we've kind of been in every game. We fought to stay in games. That was going to be a question that I had once we started today. I wonder how many people, once we were down 17-0, kind of like threw in the towel for us. It goes to show the type of team that they're building. Like it's no quit, so that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, you obviously weren't looking at my Twitter at the time.
Go ahead. Easy, Brent. You got old man shoulders and elbows. You don't want to break them patting yourself on the back or anything.
Oh, no, I'm not patting myself on the back.
Going the other way with it.
Yeah, don't look at my Twitter from about 2 o'clock on yesterday to about 2:20. Please don't. Delete. I mean, listen, we felt it before. We know what it looks like when it's just like listless. And I will give them credit, man. They kept it together. They had two ways to go. You either just fold the tent, or you keep battling and make them play the game, and they did that. And I know everybody says that's what you're going to do, but it's hard to get 53 guys on the same page feeling that way when you're in a 5-game losing streak.
Down 17.
And you're down 17 points and not a lot's going right on your home field again. I mean, it's hard to pull yourself out of that, Rashean. I know you've been there before as a competitor, but again, you might be able to do it, but can the guy next to you do it is a bigger question.
You're right, and it came from up top, meaning the leader of this team, and that's Trevor. And I think, I don't have the statistics, but he probably had one of the best second halves he's had. He looked great. He was making all the throws, all the reads. It was a 3rd down and 3. And someone ran like a quick out route instead of throwing that interception and trying to complete that pass. He realized he didn't have it and threw it and kind of threw it at his feet. Like those are the plays that good quarterbacks make, and they don't try to force and understanding if I punt and my defense give me the ball back, then I have this next opportunity to capitalize on.
It was a big growing moment for Trevor Lawrence yesterday. I mean, just actually the idea, forget about the 17-0, but coming back from last week where he made 2 huge mistakes and obviously the one in the interception and had all week to think about it. The noise was picking up a little bit, Rashean, on Trevor, and you said it. I mean, you're right. He had a terrific second half. I mean, he didn't miss a throw until the play you were talking about. I think that was even partially deflected if we're talking about the same one, but I mean, he was on the money. They couldn't stop him. The 3rd down conversions were good. He was in rhythm. He was accurate, and he led the charge. I mean, when you're down 17-0, your quarterback does have to bring you out of it. Yeah, you need your defense to play well, but your quarterback really has to rally you out of it, right?
Definitely. It was all on Trevor. Which way we were going to start trending. It was definitely on him, and he was clicking on all cylinders. ETN busted a couple plays. So but it's all on completions. I think he went one time. It was like 10 or 11 passes in a row. Mm-hmm. It's just getting that momentum back and getting people to start believing. Like, okay, we have the momentum now. Now let's rally, and they definitely did.
What kind of moments can this be for the team? I've been wondering, and I don't know because we still have a long way to go, and I can't make next Sunday happen and the next Sunday after that happen right away, although the next Sunday will be a bye week, so I can kind of make that one happen already. If you win, you've lost 5 games. They've all been tight. You've kept it together. The locker room is still together. You come back from 17 down. You finally get a close win. You make stops. You make the plays. I mean, I'm just trying to feel like, how good do they feel today? How good are they going to feel this week at practice? And how good can feeling good be to a football team?
Well, they needed this. It was no doubt. You could say you needed one a week prior. You can make that argument as well. But this was a must, meaning just for the morale. just to start trying kind of trend, like cut the leak off. Cut the leak off so we can kind of like plug this gap and let's start moving forward. So you got to win one before you win two. And this was definitely a great step in the right direction and playing like we did the second half and really controlling the game and not letting them do too much as an offense either, right? The defense played well. They stepped up and they started playing well. So, on all cylinders, I think. And it was a kickoff return. Was it the kickoff return?
Yeah, second
we
half.
had a big kickoff return as well. So it's in all phases. Like you said, it's not just you. You might get yourself up to be ready to battle against this, but can you get that next man or the next team? And we did it on all three phases of the game, which definitely was a plus, and it shows that the leadership that they have around the team within the players, but also the head coach at the helm. Like it shows how he has his guys playing for him.
I like where you just went there. Good segue. Rashean Mathis on Mondays here on ESPN 690 with Brent and friends. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts. And Rashean's been in this league for so long, and then he kind of has taken a step back, and now we've got him back into it, watching it from a different lens. And when you watch it from this lens, like I really thought this was a culture win for Doug Peterson. Last year when the Jags were 2-6, they didn't like their head coach. That thing was a mess. How much was this Peterson? How much did Peterson help get him over the line by maybe not going for it on 4th and 1 a couple of times late and kicking the field goals? And I know one missed, but I mean, how was from your view, was this a big time culture win for what Doug has done so far since he got here in February and where he's trying to take it?
Yeah, it was. And I say it was because it just shows that he can rally his team together. And not all coaches can do that. And you can see week in and week out, like you get guys around the locker room or guys on the sideline. They're trying to rally, but a guy is going to play for who's in charge. Like he's going to go for bat for who's in charge. And if you don't have it as a coach, it's easier for you to lose the sideline because we're not always on the same page. We could be mad at the offense. The offense could be a little upset at us because we're not holding or they're not holding special teams the same way. But when you believe in the coach and your coach believes in you, you can feel that on that sideline. And it's just a word here, there, or a look from here and there to the right player as a coach, and that's what gets the guys going. Like get a pat on the back, hey, get your guys going. Like, and if your coach can't tell you that, if your head coach can't give you that and tell you that, then that's where you lose that sideline easily.
I want to just double up on what you just said there, because I would think these guys get hired, Rashean, and you've got to have that trait. You've got to be able to have a team that believes in what you're preaching. But I guess what you're telling me is it doesn't always work that way. I mean, you guys are grown men too. You know what to buy into, what not to buy into. And I guess that happens more than I would think.
It definitely does. And one, Jim Caldwell, when I was in Detroit, like, that man was amazing. Like, just an amazing man, amazing coach. And he had all 53 bought in because he treated everyone the same. Megatron and Matt Stafford probably was the head of the snake at that point in everyone's career. But that 53rd man that was on that roster felt the love too and felt the respect from it. So when your number was called, you was willing to show up and do whatever it took to help your team win. And not everybody can rally the troops like that. And you can ask player after player after player, like they can point out those coaches who have made that impact on the team and how it catapulted the team to be a better team.
One of the things Doug has brought with him to Jacksonville is this penchant to not be scared to go for it on 4th down. But during this Raiders game, it was one of the first times we didn't see them really go for it on 4th outside of bringing the kicker out there. Meanwhile, Josh McDaniel across the sideline went for it 3 times. Do you think Doug was kind of shaking on the sidelines, jonesing for a 4th down? Was this purposeful from Doug, or do you think it was just game script?
I think it's just him learning. Like, not saying that he doesn't know already, but you kind of learn your team, you feel your team, and you kind of have to, you can't be I'm going to do this regardless of the situation. Like, you have to make in-game adjustments. You have to be audible ready. And although he is an aggressive coach, this is him being audible ready and be like, okay, no, 3 points will help us. And in reference to going forward and not getting it, it could hurt us. So this is him pulling back when it was time to pull back. And not to say that, in a couple of weeks he won't go for it again, which, I think when you make those calls, whether you go for it or not, you'll have your team backing you more instead of thinking like, okay, we're going to go for it every time and get everyone guessing.
It's an interesting way for you to put it about Doug learning, or even evolving would be another word maybe that I would use in terms of his roster, the way the season has gone and how he likes to be. It's not just Trevor and Travis and these guys who have to get their education up. I mean, Doug's out here still being a student.
Yeah, and how they're going to react, I would imagine. And, I would say, I think I said this a lot last week. I think Doug needs to get this team over the finish line when he has the opportunity to. And sometimes that's not just being kamikaze style, go after it every single time. There's a nature of, hey, this is a young team. We're going to be dangerous to people because we have a little more rope to play with. There's not as pressure on us. So let's just let it hang out and go play and see if we can surprise you in times. I get that nature. The Jags didn't have a high expectation. But when you have 5 games that are oh so close and it's really stinging your locker room, you have got to find a way to put points on the board. And I think he could have made the case in both situations. He could have gone for it. And I think if it was week 3, he might have gone for it.
Yeah, I think he has previously gone for it. That's why it was so shocking to me.
But I think he also made the right choice, and that helped them. Again, I mean, the kicker's got to make the first kick, to be honest with you, and not boink it off the field goal, off the post. But I just thought that was good for Doug. I think what Rashean just said is a great answer, too. It's like, hey, we're going to go for it because we like to go for it as players, but we also know when he does go for it, it means something. It's not just every single time that he's going to go for it. So I thought it was a big deal for Doug Peterson to get that win, and I think it said a lot. And now we'll see what it does. See if it pops the balloon, lets the air out, and these guys just go play. There's some good stuff there for the Jacksonville Jaguars that just hasn't materialized into wins just yet. I got to ask you, Rashean, I can't believe it's been 15 minutes, but Davante Adams, that first half. All I can still see is that route he ran against to get wide open on the second touchdown. And it just shows you how good this guy can be. And he was excellent on the one drive, 6 catches, 88 yards. I mean, that guy is a really good player, right?
Yeah, he's a good player. I was in Detroit when he was young, and he thought he was good when he was with Green Bay early in his career. And it's actually impressive to see him blossom and grow as a stud receiver and as a stud athlete. You hear nothing but good things about him. I played against him twice a year, so he has an edge and a competitiveness about him that not too many athletes have. Only the great athletes do. And they made an effort to give him the balls and design plays to him. You have a guy like that on your team, that's what you're supposed to do.
Well, it's interesting. We were looking forward to the Tyson Campbell and Davante Adams matchup. And what I said a lot last week is when you have a matchup like this, and I think you know this best, when you have a really good player on the other side, you're going to win some and they're going to win some. It's really hard to shut out a really good player, especially if you're Tyson Campbell and you're a young player. But I also didn't think all that was on Tyson Campbell. Now, the touchdown was, and there were other plays, but they really did move him around, Rashean, to get him the football in other ways. It wasn't like all 9 catches were against Tyson Campbell. And did you notice if Tyson did anything different in the second half that kind of went the Jags' way instead of the Raiders' way?
Well, you made a good point. When you have another playmaker on the other side of the ball and that is skilled and a vet like Adams, it's almost impossible for a young stud, in our Campbell to stop him because he's going to get his touches. And they did move him around a lot, and they did design plays where Campbell had to be in the slot or outside in different levels, and they put different levels around him to get him up under the defense or ran players off and threw a little swing pass to him. So they did an amazing job because the week prior I heard that he only had 1 catch, right? Mm-hmm. So this was the week to get him off. But at the end of the day, we didn't allow him to beat us, even though it was the first half and he got off and doing his thing. I think they did a great job of buckling down in the second half and not allowing him to beat us.
Yeah.
And I don't think Campbell did anything different. It was just going up against a real veteran receiver, and it showed him what it takes to cover great receivers in this league.
Yeah, Tyson is a fascinating guy for us to watch because he has really grown up in front of our eyes, and there's not a lot of players that do that. I'm sure you did it back even before I got here, and you could see some of that growth. And I'm almost wondering this, Rashean, do you remember a moment early in your years, maybe year 1, year 2, and maybe it took to year 3, where you went up against somebody like this and you're playing well, you're feeling really good about yourself, you know your talents, but then you get taken to school a little bit for maybe a couple of series or a half, and then you come out of it. And I just wonder how much growth that gives a player like you back in the day or a guy like Tyson Campbell going forward now.
Oh, it definitely gives you growth. I do remember because I had Marvin Harrison, and I had Andre Johnson in my division, right? So
those were guys who were okay.
It was 2 division games. I was going to see 2 monsters 4 times a year. So you definitely had to be on your P's and Q's. You definitely had to cross all your T's and dot your I's, or it was going to be a long day for you. So, yeah, I do remember being off a little and learning from it and understanding, watching film and being critical of yourself and understanding what you need to do better. And that's just going back in the lab, right? Like that's part of sports. Going back in the lab and be like, okay, this is a veteran guy. This is what he did to me. This is what I could do better. And that's how you learn, and that's how you get better as an athlete.
Did you notice in the game, too, again, you watched that secondary maybe even more than us, Buster Brown played a lot, the young man, the rookie for the Jags, 7th round, I think it was 7th round draft pick, and Trey Herndon came out. I mean, he actually had more snaps than Trey Herndon, so it looks like they're trying to work in a possible change at that other spot, Rashean, which I think also could be a very dangerous thing to do when you're playing the Raiders and also you're in a game that's really tight in the 4th quarter. But they were kind of tweaking and playing with that, weren't they?
Yeah, they definitely were tweaking and playing with it. But being that they had Campbell following Adams all over it, you can kind of tweak and play with it a little more, being that the Raiders was kind of one side dominant and didn't really have a huge threat on the other side. So if it was a game to do it, this probably was it. Being that, they knew Adams was going to be their premier focus, their main focus for the game. So they're looking for something. We don't know what, because we're not inside the walls. But for him to have as many snaps as he did, it does say something.
Yeah, you might not have an answer for this too, but I wonder, because we saw some different guys in. DeJuan Smoot, now he's getting more snaps. Production has earned that. He's now way up in snap count yesterday versus the rest of the year, and he should. He's leading the team in sacks. You want a guy that's being productive. I get that one. Buster Brown's working his way in. Why? Well, because he's probably he might be a better athlete, might be a better skill set for today's game at the corner position than Trey Herndon, just doesn't have the experience. And then we saw Chad Muma go in there a little bit more than we've seen him. And Devin Lloyd's a guy that's really been good at times, Rashean. But the last few weeks, I feel like we're not seeing great play out of him. I know he ends up with a fumble recovery late. But are you noticing anything in there from the young linebacker that has him, maybe his head spinning, him not in the right places? Is that hard? I don't know if you can pick that up off TV.
Well, you have to kind of dissect the film a little bit more, and I'll keep an eye out for that. But you definitely have to dissect the film a little bit more, see if he's missing little small assignments that you really don't see. His head could be spinning a little bit, could be getting down, and with losses, this is one thing about the NFL or any professional sport. When you lose, everything is glorified, right? Like, so all the little things that you didn't do well, there's going to be an X, because we have a grade sheet at the end of every game. You have a grade sheet, and it's going to grade you how well you played, whether you're in the 90th percentile, the 80 or the 70 or 60, how many MEs, mental errors you had. Everything is marked down. So when you lose these games, your coach has to be a little more critical and put these X's by your name, saying that you didn't do this, you false stepped here, you false stepped there. So you never really know the ins and outs of it until the film is watched and everything is graded, and it's gonna show up on Sunday, because you're gonna lose snaps because of it.
Yeah, and I think he did. And by the way, we have sound with Lloyd in the locker room after the game, and he's like, "Yeah, this was not my best game." But that's a couple of them now. You go back to the Indianapolis game, and so I think it's part of the inconsistencies. We talked a lot about Monday Morning Madness this morning, inconsistencies of these young guys that they're really leaning on. Before we go to break, Rashean, I mean, you don't ask teams to lean on so many young guys with inexperience. Again, I'm not a young guy. Like, the league is young. So it's like young is different. Inexperience is really the key here. These guys, they're being at Trevor, Trayvon, Lloyd, ETN. Who am I missing? I mean, Tyson. Other guys are being asked to do a lot, where if you're playing for Baltimore, if you're playing for maybe the Patriots, if you're playing for the Eagles right now, there's no way they're asking all these young guys to do this much to help you win.
Brent, that's an great point. Amazing point, because as you said, you can have one stud on your team that's young stud, or maybe two young studs that are ready to play. But when you have a handful, or a little more than a handful, that you're asking to play 65 snaps or 40 snaps out of a game, that's a lot of snaps for a young guy. That's a lot of snaps for a young guy, because they're playing against experienced vets that are year in and year out used to making plays and used to getting it up under skin and knowing how to cut off angles and things of that nature, for you not to be able to make for you to be able to false read and false step and things of that nature. So it's a tall task. It's a tall task, and that's not really talked about a lot with the Jags. So kudos to the young guys for standing in there and trying to make the plays, but it is a tall task.
Well, and you're talking about a team now that's been one play, 2 plays away from W's. Right. And those guys are the ones that are sometimes making those misplays. And so the big deal here is, okay, it's infuriating. We get what's going on. It's just a reality. But hopefully in 2023, they've played enough where they don't make those mistakes, and now those plays are turned into winning plays. Like, that's what the organization hopes happens, and that's what Doug Peterson hopes happens. That's why probably Doug Peterson, who knows it like Rashean knows it, is more patient than everybody else in the River City right now when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are 3-6, though, after a big win. We got more with Mathis on Mondays. Rashean Mathis, former Jaguars corner, joins us each and every Monday in the 4 o'clock hour.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Impacts from Nicole today with bands of very heavy rain and storms. Some severe weather possible. It'll be windy, gradually diminishing from south to north through the afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s. Windy tonight, a lingering shower down to just 72. And your Friday will be partly sunny, a breezy and warm Veterans Day with a brief shower or two and highs in the low 80s. I'm TV meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes Party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core Brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckN.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Week 10 fantasy football picks fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. A lot to pick from this week. Heck, the Jags and Chiefs game could give you a lot of options. But let's go with Chris Godwin and Tampa. Maybe last week's comeback ignites the Bucs offense, which really hasn't been good all year. Godwin could have a big game in Germany. And Darius Slayton has emerged as a top target for Daniel Jones. All the attention on Saquon for the Texans should leave Slayton open in big moments. Might be a productive day for the wideout. Good luck, everyone. My picks, fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
It seems like every day we hear about the challenges small businesses face to increase sales. Competition can be fierce, and growing revenue is essential for long-term success. What can a business owner do to set themselves apart and attract more customers? SCORE has volunteers with industry-tested sales and marketing experience that can help you address your critical questions in a free, confidential mentoring session. In addition, we also offer a vast array of online resources and workshops. Discover more about how SCORE can assist your business by visiting our website, jacksonville.score.org.
If you or someone you know is a post 9/11 veteran looking for direction and purpose in life after military service, Camp Southern Ground is here for you. Warrior Week, our signature veteran-led transition program, will give you the tools and training you need to thrive in work, relationships, life, and family, all at no cost to you. Together, with a community of peers and mentors, we strive to make every day better than the last. Take control and get started today at campsouthernground.org.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997, and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
I'm about to give you even more to be thankful for this year, thanks to our friends at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's no payments until 2023 on your pre-owned purchase. Arlington will even waive your last 6 lease or loan payments. You got a trade? Arlington will pay up to MSRP for your trade. What are you waiting for? This sale won't last long. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/thankful for full details.
Finding a Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. Don't miss our weekend special. Save 40% on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Kasey Kuhrts.
Yo! What are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kuhrts, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome to Davoli's House of Cards, St. Johns County. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kuhrts. Come on down, St. Johns County. Be here until 6 o'clock. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton immediately following as well. We got the Jags coming off a 27-20 win, back on track at a big one against the Chiefs on Sunday. Let's go to the phones and welcome in Jamal Agnew right now from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he joins us on ESPN at 690. Usually joins us. I was telling Aaron to turn down the music.
Oh.
I'm just jamming out.
Maybe Jamal was vibing.
Sorry, Jamal. That was a bad introduction because Kasey was jamming around here. He's like bebopping, and Aaron wasn't.
Okay, boomer.
And Aaron, and Aaron, all I could hear was the music. I'm like, I'm not going to even be able to talk to Jamal.
I was busy in here doing the hand jive, Brent. I'm sorry.
Jamal Agnew first and last time on the program.
I was doing the Charleston Chew in the control room. I just got carried away.
Oh, man.
I didn't know I was getting invited to the club.
Probably not the club you want to be in.
Exactly.
Hey, what's happening, man? Congrats on the win. And man, I thought that was a huge play you had in the game to lead off that second half.
Man, if you ask me, I should have scored. I'm not going to make any excuses, but I hold myself to a high standard. The guys blocked their butts off. I expect myself to be scoring in situations like that. So next time you see me in a situation like that, just know I'm getting in the end zone.
Hey, tell me, why do you see that? Because, obviously we thought it was a really good return, 52 yards, and you put the team in a good position. Did you see something else? Could you have made a certain cut, or do you think just speed-wise? Like, why do you say you should have scored?
I mean, just knowing myself and knowing what I'm capable of. I know I have the speed. I didn't realize how much sideline I had left. I initially just seen the kicker and the angle he took. He took a pretty high angle. But just knowing myself, I could have outran him regardless of, how I was feeling and everything. But, next time I'm going to take full advantage of the opportunity. Obviously, it was still a big play to spark, the team. We definitely went in the locker room at halftime, not thinking we were out of the game at all, but just knowing we needed a play, knowing we needed somebody to spark it off. The kick return unit, we made that play and we sparked it off a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. I do think in hindsight, listening to you guys react to the win and everybody saying, hey, we're still together and 17-0, we got this, we're playing better than it looks right now, and you guys have done a good job of that even in a 5-game losing streak. I know you missed a lot of the time in that losing streak. But I just think in hindsight, that play, from a momentum standpoint, getting the 3 points at the end of the half in 45 seconds, that was huge. But then you never know what happens in the 12 minutes of halftime. And for you to do that, and I saw the way the bench reacted, your teammates reacted, and I think everything you guys had built toward the end of the first half just kind of kept boiling over some more. And then the offense took advantage of what you did, delivering them really good field position.
Yeah, no doubt. We take pride in that. We call it the middle eight, right before halftime. Those 4 minutes right before halftime and the 4 minutes in the second half, the first 4 minutes of the second half. Just taking advantage of that. We got the points, 3 points, like you said, end of the first half. We got the ball coming out. It was important for us to go down and get some points. We had the big return, and then offense went down and drove it down. That flipped the momentum completely. And, we feel like right there we were in control of the game. Defense was out there making stops. They couldn't really do anything on our defense in the second half. So, we just all believed in each other. We all believed that, the other units are going to make plays and, we're going to get back on the field and make our plays. And that's just the story of our season. Like, we kind of, we've been starting fast in a lot of these games this year and not finishing. We started slow this game and then we finished the game. And it was just good to see that. We played a complete game, a complete complementary game, offense, defense, special teams. That's something we needed all year.
Jamal Agnew with us here on ESPN 690, and you guys did that complimentary stuff early in the year, and then one thing would go wrong over these last 5 weeks previous to this one against the Raiders. 17 points down. It was the largest deficit of the season for the Jaguars. Also, did you know the historical significance for the organization, or have you heard about it yet? It's just the second time a Jags team has rallied from 17 down to win a game in franchise history. There were 1 in 116 prior to this, Jamal.
Wow. Yeah, we haven't talked about any of that in any of our meetings or anything, but I've definitely seen that on Twitter, and that's pretty crazy. But it's tough coming from behind right like that. We're down 17-0 real early, and nobody panicked. That was the crazy part. Like you look on the sideline, and nobody panicked, especially Trevor. Trevor was walking up and down the sideline. Picking everybody up, telling them we're still in this and it's a long game. So credit to him for doing that, leading us, back into this game.
I kind of panicked, I'm not going to lie. I kind of did.
Look, at least he's being real about it.
No, I mean, listen, I'm sunshine and rainbows guy. Jamal knows that from our Monday night show on Jags Report Live, but I kind of panicked. I mean, I was like, uh-oh, this is not good. And you guys rallied. And now I feel – I have said this about this team. I can tell you guys are a pretty tight locker room, covered a lot of locker rooms, unfortunately covered a lot of locker rooms that have lost too. And I wonder about this team that once you got over that hump, once you pop the balloon of losing, can you now go on a run? And I'm not trying to say you're going to win every game the rest of the year, but How much do you think this team in particular can carry what you guys just accomplished, especially in the second half last week, with you the last 8 games to maybe produce some more wins?
We always knew we were a good team, and Doug makes sure we know that every week in and week out. We showed early in the year we can play with some of the best teams in the league, and obviously we beat the Chargers. We hung in there with Philly, who still hasn't lost a game. So we know we're a really good team. We haven't been able to put it all together, unfortunately, this season. But until I feel like Las Vegas, obviously we weren't perfect, but we played complementary football. Like I said, we played well on offense, well enough on defense to win, and then made some plays on special teams. And that's what the great teams in this league do. That are playing in January and February. So and that's somewhere we want to be. But we got to put it all together week in and week out, and just focus on being 1-0. We're not talking about winning every game the rest of the season. We're talking about winning the next one.
Absolutely. Jamal, let me take you back to the kickoff. You popped the one, but before that, earlier in the game, you had one that didn't go as well. When you go into halftime or when you talk with your unit, is there something you guys do differently to pop the long one, or was it just as simple as you had more space on that play?
Yeah, we definitely had more space on that second one. Obviously we had the penalty before that first one.
Yeah, you did.
So they were up 5 yards. Kicker made a heck of a kick. He hung it up pretty high with some hang time. 2 yards deep, so it was kind of enticing us to take it out. I definitely could have made a better decision and left that one in there, just knowing, we're at a disadvantage with them. Moved up 5 yards, so they're going to try to pin us. I communicated that with Heath and, the team. I could have made a better decision there. I kind of put everybody in a bad situation, but, we made up for it on the next one. They didn't want to kick it to us after that, so.
Yeah, the ultimate sign of respect, and we've seen that. There was a punt, I think, that went way out of bounds around the 18-yard line. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to even get it close to you. And I know what you're talking about. I said that in the press box. They did a really nice job on the one kickoff that Kasey was just talking about. I mean, he got a ton of hang time on that. I don't know if that's a hard thing to do on a kick, but that thing hung up in the air for a long time for their coverage team to get down there. Is that a common thing, or is that just pretty well executed?
That's just really well executed. There's only a handful of kickers who can do that consistently. Put it up there with really good hang time, and then also, around like the goal line to like 2 deep to get people to bring it out. And if you got somebody that can kick like that can, entice people to bring it out with your kickoff unit getting down to at least like the 30, 25, while by the time they catch it, you can pin anybody. And that's one thing Vegas, I think, did well on that first play, especially having the 5-yard head start.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. Jamal Agnew with us here on ESPN 690. Hey, how are you feeling? And did you think you'd be out this long when you got injured in the Indy game? By the way, a terrific play in the red zone there. Were you so close to getting back? How's that work? Or did you even get back sooner than you thought coming off the injury? And I know you guys don't talk specifically about injuries too much, but what was your mental space like coming back into action?
It was really just, trying to stay positive. Obviously when it initially happened, I was a little down just because, obviously I came off the big injury last year.
Yeah.
My goal was to play every game this year, but unfortunately, it's the NFL, stuff's going to happen. So it was really just like a week-to-week thing, day to day. It wasn't anything major. It was just, I got twisted up a little bit on that play in the red zone. And, really was trying to play in London, but honestly think the flight out there kind of hindered that a little bit, not going to lie. But it was really just a week-to-week thing. It wasn't anything major, but I was happy to be able to go out there and make some plays this weekend for the team.
Do you think you'll get more involved in the offense now, that workload get back up to where you want to be? Because, again, I think the great story about Jamal Agnew is if you go back to the last couple of years since he signed, some of the plays that he's delivered on offense, including that nice play and the trick play inside the red zone against the Indianapolis Colts, have really worked out. Some of the great highlight moments have come from Jamal Agnew over the last couple of years. So I got to believe you want to get back out there for some snaps and be a part of that Doug Peterson playbook that really worked so well last week.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Obviously I would love to be out there. they do a good job of putting us all in positions to make plays. And, I have no doubt in my mind, they're going to put me in position to make plays. But, I want to run some kicks back. I feel like I left one on the field. As a unit, special teams unit, we feel like we left one on the field. We feel like we've been past due, putting some returns in the end zone. So, we plan on doing that. But like I said, Doug, Press, and Jim Bob, they do a good job putting all of us in positions to make plays. I'm looking forward to that.
Jamal, you guys will be on the road this week, and you just mentioned run some kickbacks. What's a better feeling, at home when the crowd's all for you, or on the road when you know you're breaking people's hearts?
I definitely think it at home, to be honest, just because, the crowd is going to be electric. And I promise in the offseason that my next return touchdown at the bank, I was going to jump in the pool. If I scored this weekend, I probably would have just tried to throw the ball in the pool. I don't think I can make it up to the pool.
That'd be a heck of a jump. I'm not going to lie to you.
I was going to say, we might have to plan that one separate from actually the game. You're going to have to get on the elevator or something, during the game. And you might miss the next kick return.
Maybe if it's a walk-off or something.
There you go. Yeah, that would be good. Hey, I love that question from Kasey, too, because you can silence everybody. But at home, can you hear the crowd build? Like he might do this right now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear them start going. As soon as they start, screaming, I know, I must have some room out here. Obviously, it was different this weekend because it was kind of clear that I kind of just broke their contain. But I hear that initial scream, and that gets me excited. But, like I said, I hold myself to a higher standard. I got to get in the end zone right there.
Yeah, well, it was still a huge play, 52-yard kick return for Jamal Agnew. Welcome back to action. One last thing for you, then we'll let you go. We all think now, Trevor Lawrence, I thought, put on a show in some of the throws that he made on Sunday. And I know you guys see it in practice, and I know you guys have been very supportive and also vocal about how talented this young man is. But when you see some of the plays, you go back and watch, the play where he was under duress near the goal line and finds Marvin on the left side. That just does not get made by a lot of quarterbacks. Do you guys talk about that on the sideline? Is that one of those, whoa, you see that one? What are the conversations like when some of those plays are being made?
It's just Trevor being Trevor. That's why he's who he is. That's why, we have so much confidence, and, that's why we follow his lead. Regardless of how young he is, we're all following his lead. This team's only going to go, wherever he takes. Obviously, we all have our own parts in it, but Trevor, we have the utmost confidence in Trevor. Even when he's not playing like he feels like he's playing at his best. Nobody's perfect. I don't play at my best all the time. Just to see him going out there and doing him, breaking off 30-yard runs, taking hits from, one of the hardest hitting inside linebackers in the league and just popping right up. Just seeing his toughness is great. He's talking his trash out there too. We just love playing with him. We love playing hard for him. And I've said it a bunch of times. We're gonna ride with 16 till the wheels fall off.
Jamal Agnew, don't let the wheels fall off on those kick or punt returns, man. We love watching them, and bring one to the house, maybe at Arrowhead on Sunday, or when you get back to the bank. Thanks for taking a few minutes and jumping in. Good luck against Kansas City on Sunday.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all.
We're ready to deal at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting table games, and a sports bar with the NFL ticket, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located on 800 Marketplace Drive off Exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at UNFospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at UNFospreys.com.
Boss, wait till you hear this.
Whoa, hang on. We just found 6 houses without Safe Touch security, so let me enjoy my good mood for a little bit, will ya?
Sorry, boss, but Safe Touch is running a buy one, get one free special on their 24/7 recording perimeter guard cameras.
A BOCO on cameras?
Yeah. Listen, get 5-star security surveillance with Safe Touch's two-way communicator, free installation, and lifetime warranty. Plus, add a doorbell camera for just $99.
Oh, that Lester Jackson! Why is he doing this to me?
Boss, it's just another reason we have the Crooksmas Golden Rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. So much for my good mood.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Monitoring agreement required with approved credit. Beat the holiday rush. Cameras are going fast. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Okay, smile naturally. Perfect.
Cam's Photography knows wedding season ramps up in a flash. They need to say I do to a studio assistant before clients go full bridezilla.
I'm so sorry. I have to get a different lens. I'll be right back.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is here. Get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes. That's a better breakfast for just $3 in 3 easy steps. 1, wake up. 2, get out of bed. And 3, head to Wendy's for your $3 breakfast deal. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Select a request $3 breakfast deal in order to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combos orders. Price and participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
30 seconds. Let's think about a final rose. Oh, this one's... Is it easy? Is it hard? Oh. I don't know. Clay Harbor joins us for a couple more minutes, and you can't give it to Justin Fields.
All right, if I can't do that, I'm going to have to go with his counterpart in the 2021 draft, the first overall pick, 109 rating, 84 QBR. Not only did this guy throw for 235 yards, he also showed the legs, 53 yards rushing. Guy had a heck of a game, came back, had some clutch throws. Trevor Lawrence, I think it's his third rose of the year. Will you accept this rose? He will. Everybody's happy. We're good.
Everybody is happy. And by the way, that was a good week, right, for that 2021 class. Not just Trevor and Fields, but Zach Wilson got a win.
Yeah,
Mac
man.
Jones got a win. I know they're not playing unbelievable, but really good week for that class, Clay.
Yeah, they're showing up. I think it's going to end up being one of the great quarterback classes in history once it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, man. Have some fun the rest of the weekend, and we'll see what happens Sunday in KC. And for Justin Fields, what is next? We'll certainly find out. That was a fun hour. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course, guys. Thanks.
That's going to do it, Brent and Friends, on a Thursday. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow. Brent's storm chasing. I'll be here, but he'll be done storm chasing tomorrow. Everybody stay safe. Have a good night. We're back with you on Friday. Update, if you're on the radio, I fixed the microphone. Go me! See y'all tomorrow.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields